You're watching Machindo's hometown station, HTV1.
Hello everybody, Brett Boyd from the Market House. Don't miss our new expanded summer hours from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And don't miss two fantastic deals on ground chuck at just $3.99 a pound or Dutch Farms butter at just $2.99. Just two great deals and two more reasons to come see us at the Market House. Open 8 to 8, 7 days a week. We'll see you there.
Tired of having everyone know you're coming before you arrive because of your exhaust? If so, then it's time to call the experts at RS Custom Exhaust in Hillsdale. RS Custom Exhaust has all the tools and parts to make your vehicle quiet again. And for you sports car enthusiasts, if you're looking for the roar to be the king of the roads, RS Custom Exhaust can help you too. With free estimates and first-class service, RS Custom Exhaust has your vehicle covered. So stop and see them today, located at 1461 Vera Drive in Hillsdale.
From Machindo's news leader, this is HTV1 News at noon.
Well, the curve is beginning to flatten, and officials on all levels say that that's a sign that we should keep up social distancing and wearing masks as businesses begin to reopen. Well, good afternoon, Machindo. I'm Scott Pienta. Well, here are the latest coronavirus counts across the area. Branch County reports 97 cases and 2 deaths. Hillsdale County shows 166 cases and 24 deaths. Lenawee County has 136 confirmed cases, 89 recoveries, and 3 deaths. With 33 probable cases, 21 recovered, and no deaths in the probable category. Statewide, Michigan now reports that over half of confirmed cases have recovered, with 28,234 cases on the mend out of 51,142 cases total. Steuben County counts 65 cases and 2 deaths. Williams County has 33 confirmed cases and 13 probable cases and 1 death. And over in Fulton County, well, they report 33 confirmed cases, 1 probable case, 30 recoveries, and no deaths. Well, good news in Michigan as Crane's Detroit Business reports that the new cases and deaths are in decline in the Great Lakes state. Now, the 7-day rolling average of new state fell to 535 on Saturday, which is the lowest point that average has since the March 27th, a time when far fewer people were being tested. The 7-day rolling average of deaths also fell to 51, the lowest number in that category since April. Hospitalizations have also declined significantly in the last 2 months. Now, data compiled by the New York Times shows that Michigan coronavirus death toll is the 4th highest in the United States, behind New York, New Jersey, and Massachusetts. The flattening of the curve is the theme being seen at all 3 states, as Ohio and Indiana both show drops in new cases, deaths, and hospitalizations as well. But officials say that's not the downslope we're looking for. Now, according to the Bryan Times, Williams County Health Commissioner Jim Watkins said in a briefing on Friday that Ohio's cases in particular are at a plateau, not going up, but not coming down in any significant way. Now, Watkins says that as the state prepares to reopen various businesses in the coming days and weeks, social distancing and wearing face masks continues to be necessary to protect others and prevent the coronavirus from spreading faster. He added that the more people adhere to those guidelines, the faster we can get back to normal. As far as masks, the United Way of Williams County says about 300. They has about 300 that they'll be handing out at their office next Saturday, May 23rd. From 10 a.m. until noon. Well, as announced, the Branch County's Capri Drive-In Theater opened Friday night in defiance of Michigan's emergency orders. Now, WTVB and MLive say cars were lined all the way up from the theater property well past the Moose Lodge on US 12. Owners Tom and Sue Maggox promised to keep the opening to only 50% capacity and use only social distancing guidelines, as those who came out were told to stay in their vehicles. But conversation and pictures posted online painted a different story, where some people were outside of the vehicles, one group even seen posing for photos in a gallery featured on MLive. Branch County Central Dispatch received about 6 calls about the opening Friday night, and Prosecutor Valerie White said all police agencies were well aware of the plans to open the drive-in. Under Sheriff Keith Eicher said that the Magocks have been warned about what could happen if they open, including a possible misdemeanor charge for violating Governor Gretchen Whitmer's executive orders and a possible civil charge with a $1,000 fine. Michigan State police officer was seen at the venue before the shows began, but an MSP spokesperson did not immediately reply to MLive's request for information. However, State Police spokesperson Shannon Banner did say earlier that they are working in cooperation with the Attorney General's office to enforce the executive orders as appropriate. The Michigan State Police do not typically comment on a specific situation before an enforcement action is taken. Tom Magok says he'll fight a ticket in court if he receives one. Now, he told MLive he acknowledges that the theater isn't allowed to be open, but he doesn't agree with the government's response to COVID-19. Magok says he doesn't understand why drive-ins like his have to remain closed while drive-in restaurants are allowed to remain open with restrictions, adding, quote, "It's all a double standard." Governor's office spokesperson Tiffany Brown declined to respond to the criticism, but pointed to a frequently asked questions list on the state's website that states plainly the executive order prohibits all theaters from being open, including drive-ins, movie theaters. WTVB says another local business, Adventure Zone, which is right next door to the Capri Drive-In, opened their miniature golf course on Friday as well. And the Branch County Sheriff's Office is currently investigating that situation. And to the east, the Daily Telegram says the Adrian 4th of July parade has been canceled. Another tragedy for the coronavirus pandemic. Now, organizers with the Civitan of Lenawee made that announcement on Friday. The group's Carolyn Marr, who has led the parade effort for a decade, says that there were concerns about large group gatherings and endangering public health. There was also some question about whether or not there would be even enough people to participate in the parade, even if it could be held safely. The event usually includes around 80 groups each year. Marr says she starts to build that list on June 1st, but even though that gives the organization time to reconsider, she's decided over the past few weeks that it just wouldn't be a good idea. She says that she expects the event to return in 2021. This year's Independence Day Parade was supposed to conclude with the rededication of the city's Civil War monument at the end of the parade route, 150 years after the fixture was first dedicated. Now, the Civil War Monument Restoration Committee is looking into possible dates to reschedule that ceremony, including Veterans Day, Labor Day, or possibly at the end of the parade next year. It's yet another blow to community events in Lenawee County, as both the Lenawee County Fair and Artalicious have also been canceled this year. And the Hamilton Chamber of Commerce has also canceled their 4th of July parade and fireworks show. The Herald-Republican says that was announced Thursday, but the annual boat parade just might still take place, and they'll make an announcement about that at a later date. The chamber-coordinated town-wide garage sales have also been canceled, though individual Hamilton residents are still free to have sales on their own. Well, due to the Miss America organization postponing all affiliated pageant events until next year, the Miss River Raisin Festival Scholarship Pageant will also have to wait until 2021. The Telegram reports that no MAO competitions will take place this year, including the 100th anniversary of the Miss America pageant. Now, 12 women from Lenawee County were expected to participate in this year's pageant at the River Raisin Festival, and Director Marcia Loader said the local organization hopes that they'll compete in next year's field. In the meantime, they're taking the opportunity to help 2019 winner Sydney Peppenhagen of Blissfield in her bid to become Miss Michigan 2021. If Peppenhagen wins the Miss Michigan crown next year, she would go on to compete for the Miss America title. Now, the organization will also be using the downtime to help competitors prepare for future pageants in mock interviews and social impact incentives. The local pageant normally takes place during the River Raisin Festival, but it is not directly controlled by festival organizers. The River Raisin Festival itself is still on as of right now, but a final decision will be made on that at the end of the month. We have some updates on car parades for around local seniors around our area. First up, Union City Parade was unable to go on due to yesterday's rainstorms. Now, Union City High School has announced that it will now be held on Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. Seniors should report to the school in their cars by 6:15. And over in Coldwater, the high school has partnered with the city to hold a parade for the seniors on Tuesday, July 28th at 6:30 p.m. starting in the Coldwater High School parking lot. That will be the week before the planned graduation ceremony on August 2nd. Well, more local schools are planning drive-in graduations, and one is putting a unique twist on that idea. Let's start with Pettisville, whose ceremony will take place next Sunday, May 24th at 2:30 p.m. in the south parking lot. The Village Reporter says that event will not be open to the public, but it will be broadcast live on WMTR, and video will be posted online later for family and friends to watch. Only the graduates and family members who live with them will be allowed to attend in person, and everyone will remain in their vehicles. The high school choir will not be performing due to the social distancing rules. The graduation will otherwise be in a traditional format with the usual speakers and students picking up their diplomas one by one. A week after that, it will be North Central's turn. They'll be holding their graduation on Sunday, May 31st, starting at 1 p.m. According to the Bryan Times, each graduate will be allowed to bring 2 vehicles with assigned ID tags, and appropriate decorations are encouraged. 1 passenger is allowed per seatbelt, and the graduate must be in front of passenger seat dressed in their cap and gown. 1 vehicle will go to the north lot and the other will go to the bus lot. Both vehicles will be lined up accordingly to their ID tag before everyone proceeds to the main parking lot at the start of the ceremony. The event will take place in front of the high school entrance with a broadcast over low-power AM radio, including the usual speeches. Each graduate will leave their car one by one for the diploma presentations. Vehicles will then proceed to the back of the line as the presentation continues. Pioneer Police will escort vehicles through the village for a parade at the conclusion. Now, North Central plans to hold the graduation rain or shine. But it's Evergreen High School that has come up with a unique way to honor grads in person despite the restrictions on group gatherings. Now, according to the Swanton Enterprise, that graduation will take place on the 31st as well, with a vehicle parade through what the school is calling recognition stations. The graduates will stop at each station to receive awards and gifts from various organizations, school clubs, athletic programs, and the music department, among others. Along the route, each grad and their 4 guests will walk to the gym for a personalized commencement ceremony where the guests will see their students walk across the stage and receive their diploma. Each individual ceremony will be recorded on video and produced to include traditional student speeches and the passing of the senior scroll to the class of 2021's president. After that, the celebration route through campus continues, including music from a live DJ. Now, you can watch that graduation online as well as on the district's YouTube channel on June 7th starting at 7 p.m. And the district will post a link to that on evgvikings.org. That is as that premiere approaches. Well, state and local news is next, right after this.
There's a reason that professionals shop at Jonesville Lumber. They expect quality, service, and knowledge. And that's exactly what they receive. For nearly 100 years, Jonesville Lumber has been family-owned. We take pride in serving our area with great products at competitive prices. We have dedicated project estimators in-house that will help figure the materials needed to complete your next task at hand. Whether you're building your dream home, adding a pole barn, building a deck, updating your kitchen, or painting your front door, let Jonesville Lumber help you with your next project.
Authentic Mexican food is just a short drive away at El Cerrito in Coldwater and Hillsdale. The variety-packed menu has something for everyone, with classic Mexican dishes, El Cerrito specialties, and tasty treats for dessert. Don't forget the best margaritas in town with margarita specials Friday and Saturday. And carry-out ordering is great for work lunches or picking up dinner for the family. Make your next meal a fiesta for your taste buds at El Cerrito on Chicago Street in downtown Coldwater and Carlton Road in Hillsdale.
It's not a solid yes yet, but Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer is planning out how schools may be able to reopen in the fall, and Michiganders can play a role in the process. WKZO says Whitmer signed an executive order on Friday to create the Return to Learning Advisory Council. The 20-member council will work together with the COVID-19 Task Force on Education to determine the best ways to resume in-person classes. It will be made up of students, parents, educators, on the front line, administrators, and public health officials. Now, they'll evaluate the situation with 4 key points in mind: the inclusion of input from stakeholders, information from public health and epidemiology experts, removing statutory and administrative barriers before the state reaches phase 6 of the My Safe Start plan, and developing and improving remedial support systems for students who experience learning loss during the spring and summer. The governor said in her Friday press briefing that she hoped the state will have some sort of in-person instruction in the fall, but that depends on whether or not all residents continue to follow current safety precautions and prevent further spread of the coronavirus. Well, if you're interested in applying to be on the advisory council, go online to michigan.gov/appointments and click Apply Now under the Boards and Commissions section. Well, Friday was the first day in the legal battle between Governor Whitmer and Michigan legislature over the current state of emergency, but not much happened in either way of decision. WTVB and the Associated Press report that the lawyers for both sides made their arguments for over an hour during the hearing, which was conducted via Zoom. The state legislature under Republican majorities in both chambers filed that lawsuit. Now, they claim that the 1945 law that was Whitmer used to issue the current state of emergency was intended to be used only in local emergencies, not statewide virus outbreaks. Now, it should be noted that the 1945 law contains no language requiring a localized focus, only that the governor must, quote, designate the area involved. Whitmer's previous state of emergency was issued under a 1976 law that requires the legislature's approval after 28 days, which the Senate and the House both declined to renew last month. Whitmer's current declaration was issued under the 1945 law, which does not require the legislature's approval. Republican leaders want the new state of emergency declared null and void immediately. Now, Judge Cynthia Stevens did not make the immediate ruling, but asked the court reporter to have a transcript available by Tuesday. Now, Stevens added no matter what her ruling is, the case will undoubtedly head to the Michigan Supreme Court. And a Detroit man is facing a terrorism charge for allegedly making a credible death threat against Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer and Attorney General Dana Nessel. According to the Associated Press, that announcement came on Friday from Wayne County's prosecutor Kim Worthy. Detroit police arrested 32-year-old Robert Tesh at his home on April 14th after he allegedly conveyed the threats to an acquaintance on social media. He was arraigned on April 22nd on the charge of making a terroristic threat. Now, if convicted, he could spend up to 20 years in prison. Worthy didn't provide any details about the threats in the delay in announcing them or how they were able deemed credible. But her spokesperson, Maria Miller, says that the threats were not specific to Whitmer's stay-at-home order. However, Worthy said in her press release that she understands that these could be stressful and upsetting times for many people, but threats against public officials who are carrying out their duties will not be tolerated. Tesh is currently free with a GPS monitor on $50,000 bond. He has a probable cause hearing scheduled for June 3rd. A weekend stabbing incident just south of Williams Center led to the suspect being shot by a Defiance County deputy. The Bryan Times and the Village Reporter at WLKI bring us this story. Now, it happened around I-50 Sunday morning. Happened around 1:50 Sunday morning on Nay Williams Center Road. Defiance County deputies found the victim, 43-year-old Michael Harris, at his home. At some point, the suspect somehow got involved with an altercation with the authorities, which is when the deputy had shot him. That man was later identified as 38-year-old Clarence Thigpen of Kalamazoo. Now, Thigpen was taken to CHWC Bryan Hospital, then airlifted to a hospital where he was last reported to be in critical but stable condition. Harris was airlifted to a hospital in Indiana where he was last reported to be in stable condition. The Defiance County Sheriff's Office declined to release any further details yesterday, but said that they will make more information available today. The incident remains under investigation by the DCSO, the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation, and the Defiance County Prosecutor's Office. Well, according to the Bryan Municipal Court records show that the Thigpen was arrested last week in Williams County and was charged with being a fugitive in Michigan, where he was wanted on charges of parole violation, meth possession, and obstruction of official business. He was also accused of providing a false name and birth date during an investigation on May 10th. An Angola woman is dead and her daughter is injured after their car lost control on the Indiana Toll Road in LaGrange County. The Herald, Republican, WLKI, and WTVB say it happened just after 8 a.m. yesterday morning near mile marker 112 outside of Shipshewana. A primary investigation found that the vehicle had hydroplaned on the wet roadway, veered out of its lane, and struck a guardrail. That caused the vehicle to spin out, roll over, and come to a rest on the passenger side in the grass median. 2 people were trapped inside, and 2 ISP troopers had to pull the vehicle upright to reach them. The vehicle's driver, 67-year-old Teresa DeVos of Angola, was unresponsive and not breathing, and despite CPR and all other life-saving measures, she died at that scene. Her daughter, 39-year-old Marie DeVos, also of Angola, was taken to Elkhart General Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. No other vehicles were involved, and that crash remains under investigation. Well, Crime Stoppers of Lenawee County is asking for your help to figure out who did this. Well, they say that these graffiti tags were sprayed along Finley, Eagle, and Berlin Walking Trail sometime around May 4th. The spray paint vandalism in red, white, and black was found on signs, trash cans, benches, and the bridge on the Finley Trail, which is what you're seeing here. Authorities believe that there is more than one suspect. If you have any information, you're asked to contact Crime Stoppers at 877-276-8477 or leave a tip online at p3tips.com/431. Now, you can remain anonymous and you may be eligible for a cash reward. Well, still to come, Hillsdale City Council meeting will be a bit different tonight, and the Republican Party's plans for a smooth transition at the Williams County Sheriff's Office may be in jeopardy. And a sheriff's deputy resigns while under investigation. You're watching HTV1 News at noon.
The Saucy Dogs is the name, and barbecue is the game. Come on down for a good time and some great food. At Saucy Dogs, try our barbecue nachos or our tasty ribs. We'll have you howling for more. Saucy Dogs, downtown Jonesville.
Does your vehicle sound like a tractor putting down the road? Then you need to see the experts at RS Custom Exhaust in Hillsdale. They will give you a free estimate along with first-class customer service. They custom make any exhaust needed for your vehicle. Stop and see them today, located at 1461 Vera Drive in Hillsdale.
Hello everybody, Brett Boyd from the Market House. Don't miss our new expanded summer hours from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And don't miss 2 fantastic deals on ground chuck at just $3.99 a pound or Dutch Farms butter at just $2.99. Just 2 great deals and 2 more reasons to come see us at the Market House. Open 8 to 8, 7 days a week. We'll see you there.
Well, tonight will be a hybrid meeting of the Hillsdale City Council, as the Daily News reports that council members will be able to attend in person at the Hillsdale Community Library or remotely at their own discretion. The library was chosen over City Hall to allow for social distancing. Now, Mayor Adam Stockford and some members of the council wanted to hold an in-person meeting on May 4th, but scrapped that idea after some voiced opposition to the move, especially following the extension of the Michigan stay-at-home order. though through May 28th. Stockford has been openly critical of the way Governor Gretchen Whitmer has handled the coronavirus pandemic, and that prompted something of a public tiff between the two, along with Attorney General Dana Nessel over the opening of local businesses. In this case, Stockford says that the public should be allowed to participate in discussions about the city's upcoming budget. The public hearing on that subject is set for 7 p.m. on May 26th during the special city council meeting. City officials are trying to find about 20% in cuts, anticipating as much as 30% in revenue reductions due to the pandemic. Just when the Williams County Republican Party thought that they had the sheriff's election all figured out, the current interim sheriff is saying not so fast. This all started with the misdemeanor conviction and subsequent resignation of former Sheriff Steve Towns, who left office to avoid potential felony prosecution over the charges that he committed further crimes in his misdemeanor appeal. Towns left office on March 18th. Now, it was originally thought that the winner of the Republican Party for sheriff would simply assume office, as Ohio law allows the incumbent party to appoint a successor within 45 days of an election, and there are no Democratic Party challengers. But due to the pandemic, Ohio's primary was delayed this year. And the Republican Party agreed with the Williams County Board of Elections and the county commissioners to appoint former Blakesley Police Chief Gary Moore to the position until a primary could be held. That primary was held, and Tom Kokert was the winner. The county Republicans have appointed Kokert as the new sheriff, though Moore will continue to serve for another 2 weeks or so as Kokert's paperwork is finalized with the Secretary of State. But now, Moore has filed to run for a sheriff as a write-in candidate, spoiling the county Republicans' plans for Kokert to simply remain in office through the general election. Morris tells the Times that the past 2 months have felt like everything is clicking, citing the stabilization of the sheriff's office and reopening lines of communication between the department and other agencies. He's also trimmed the department's budget in anticipation of the expected revenue losses due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The interim sheriff says he was interested in running back in November of 2019, but had decided against it due to injuries he suffered in an incident that August. Despite that, Morris says he feels that he's meeting the need and he'd like to stay in the job. He'll have to leave it at least temporarily once Kokert's paperwork is finalized. But Kokert will now have a general election challenger, and it could mean he'll only be in office for a very short time. The Buckeye Sheriff's Association notes that only one write-in candidate has ever won a sheriff's election in Ohio, but Moore says he hopes to be the second. The Village Reporter says the Williams County Commissioners met with Tim Kokert in an executive session about employment matters at Thursday's meeting, but no action was taken. Also, at the WCSO, Jeff Romes has resigned while under internal and criminal investigation. The Bryan Times says the former lieutenant left his job effectively May 1st prior to the completion of the internal investigation, which was completed on Wednesday. Now, he had previously been placed on paid administrative leave on March 20th. There is still no word on exactly what Romes is being accused of, though County Prosecutor Katie Zartman says it does not have anything to do with affairs involving former Sheriff Steve Towns. The Ohio BCI returned their standard explanation that they do not comment on the existence of or potential for criminal investigations. Romes was the county's weight enforcement and motor carrier officer through Williams County Engineer's Office, but County Engineer Todd Ross says he knows none of the details either. Now, the Times obtained a copy of Rome's personal file last week, and it contained no negative write-ups, constantly positive performance reviews, and at least 2 commendations. Well, we'll be right back to wrap things up right after this.
El Cerrito's variety-packed menu has something for everyone. With generous servings and lots of flavor, you'll think of it as a fiesta for your taste buds. Dine in or carry out at El Cerrito on Chicago Street in downtown Coldwater and Carlton Road in Hillsdale.
There's a reason that professionals shop at Jonesville Lumber. They expect quality, service, and knowledge. And that's exactly what they receive. For nearly 100 years, Jonesville Lumber has been family owned. We take pride in serving our area with great products at competitive prices. We have dedicated project estimators in-house that will help figure the materials needed to complete your next task at hand. Whether you're building your dream home, adding a pole barn, building a deck, updating your kitchen, or painting your front door, let Jonesville Lumber help you with your next project.
The Saucy Dogs is the name and barbecue is the game. Come on down for a good time and some great food. At Saucy Dogs, try our barbecue nachos or our tasty ribs. We'll have you howling for more. Saucy Dogs, downtown Jonesville.
So those are today's top stories. We'll see you right back here tomorrow for HTV1 News at noon. Don't forget, you can find more of our news and live streams 24/7 at htv1.net. For all of us here at HTV1, I'm Scott Pienta. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Have a great day, everyone.
Tired of having everyone know you're coming before you arrive because of your exhaust? If so, then it's time to call the experts at RS Custom Exhaust in Hillsdale. RS Custom Exhaust has all the tools and parts to make your vehicle quiet again. And for you sports car enthusiasts, if you're looking for the roar to be the king of the roads, RS Custom Exhaust can help you too. With free estimates and first-class service, RS Custom Exhaust has your vehicle covered. So stop and see them today, located at 1461 Vera Drive in Hillsdale.
Hello everybody, Brett Boyd from the Market House. Don't miss our new expanded summer hours from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And don't miss two fantastic deals on ground chuck at just $3.99 a pound or Dutch Farms butter at just $2.99. Just two great deals and two more reasons to come see us at the Market House. Open 8 to 8, 7 days a week. We'll see you there.